Hello Captains, your host Brent Justice here. Welcome to my channel Just Gaming for Us, and today I've got another Star Trek Online video. Today I am continuing my playthrough of the Romulan character Omega. This is my Romulan faction character. His name is Omega, but he's a Reman aligned with the KDF, so he's got an interesting story. I'm continuing this playthrough because I do intend to do every mission and a playthrough on this. We are in the Iconian story currently and working our way through that, and that's what we're going to continue today. Now that the 10th anniversary is in effect and I have pretty much covered everything there is to cover in the 10th anniversary, we can get on with this. And if you want to check my YouTube channel, you will see I do have 10th anniversary content for Star Trek Online. I've got the new TFO. I've got a playthrough of that. I have a playthrough of the two-parter mission that's based on the Savage Curtain from the original series. It's called The Measure of Morality. That's a very good playthrough. And I got a look at everything you can do in the 10th anniversary and all that. So go check out my channel and you can see all the 10th anniversary content coverage there. But let's move on with this video. Let's see where we are in the Iconian War. We are at... Looks like we did a Broken Circle in the last mission, and now it's time to do Butterfly. The research teams in the Iconian system have been running thousands of temporal incursion simulations on how to use the Krenim weapon. We need an officer with field experience to evaluate the most promising options and their feasibility. Meet with Captain Nog on board the research lab to discuss our best course of action. We are literally one mission away from the final one in the Iconian War.
The research teams in the Iconian system require your assistance. They have been running thousands of temporal incursion simulations of how to use the Krenim weapon. But I need an officer with field experience to evaluate the project and its feasibility. You will participate in a focus test of the most promising options. A blade cuts both ways. We must be sure that what this weapon can do to the Iconians does not cause greater harm to us.
We're going to get some very good rewards from this Chronoton-based stuff here. And some manuals. Alright, let's accept. And we're just going to transwarp straight there. And just remember, I am playing all of these missions on advanced difficulty, so they are a bit more difficult than they would normally be. More challenging for me, anyway. And we're right on board the research facility.
We have been working with the Krenim to build both this facility and a weapon similar to the one developed by Anoraks in the 22nd century. Captain Nog is running point for the Alliance, but teams from all across the Alpha and Beta quadrants are involved with the research. It's fascinating work, but there's a lot to do yet.
Alright, how can we help?
Captain Nog might be able to explain more. He's waiting for you.
Good to see you again, Adrana. How have you been?
It's good to see you too. For a few weeks, I was helping the Alliance research new ways to deactivate Iconian gateways. We were making progress, but it wasn't fast enough to stop the advance of the Heralds. After Captain Nog made contact with the Krenim, I asked to transfer here. Now I'm working with interdimensional resonance harmonics to help recreate Anoraks' work.
Having better sleep?
Yes I have. I guess the Solanae aren't visiting me at night anymore. Or maybe it's the 14-hour days trying to wrap my brain around complex temporal equations that are wearing me out. Either way, my sleep is greatly improved. Thank you for asking.
Well, it's good to see you again.
Welcome. We have been working with the Krenim to build...
Okay.
Captain Nog might...
Lead the way. So this mission... Oh, it's dark in here. They need to work on the lighting. See, they need to go back through some of these older missions now and fix the lighting in there. They put a new lighting system in the game, but the problem is... some of these old maps need to be reconfigured. They are not appropriate now. The lighting is all wonky in them. We need to speak with Captain Nog.
I wish I was seeing you under better circumstances. We've managed to make a prototype of the Krenim weapon in Anorax's records, but we have not attempted to use it yet. Time isn't something you mess around with, so we have been conducting simulations here of possible incursions, as well as developing new ways to protect and store data on various timelines.
Wow, there's a lot here. What about just removing the Iconians from the time stream?
That was the first simulation we tried. The results were fairly catastrophic.
Catastrophic, you say?
Without the Iconians, the first development of warp technology by other cultures in the Alpha Quadrant is severely delayed, by about 50,000 years. Removing the Iconians would change everything we know.
We would eventually develop warp travel, right?
Let me put it this way. In one version, the Day Ones eventually rise to power and conquer most of the Beta Quadrant. They are forced back by the Vulcans, who never embrace logic, and later enslave much of what is now Federation and Klingon space.
Oh, that could be a problem.
I'm not done yet. The Herc never developed warp technology at all, so they never invade Kronos and unite the Klingons as a warrior culture. When the Vulcan Star Empire finds the Klingons in the 22nd century, they were mostly farmers who had made some advances in epic poetry. By the present day in this simulation, the Vulcan Star Empire is locked in a to-the-death struggle with the Dominion.
Okay, I get it. Removing the Iconians directly is a bad idea.
I wish I was seeing you under better circumstances. We've managed to make a prototype of the Krenim weapon in Anorax's records. That the Iconians can't time travel because it unravels their minds. She was being dramatic, but she was essentially correct. When most humanoids time travel, they retain the memories of their timeline of origin. So you realize when things have changed. Iconians are at least partially energy beings. You saw that when Matara was able to use her own power to open gateways. And their brain structure is very different from other humanoids. As far as we understand, if an Iconian traveled back in time, their mind and memories would reshape to fit that time. So they would retain no memories of the present. They don't use time travel because it would literally be taking a step backwards.
Okay.
I wish I was seeing you under better circumstances. We've managed to make... Once we make an incursion, anything not protected by a temporal shield will conform to the new timeline. That includes all of us once this mission is over. We won't remember the Iconians, the war, or anything that changes in the new timeline. Clouda has been leading the work to create a shielded computer core to hold all the data we currently have. A time capsule, I guess you'd call it.
Okay.
Correct. This isn't the sort of sacrifice we'd expect any personnel involved in the incursion to make. So we've built a computer to retain the information for us. We'll know what happened before, even though it essentially will have happened to someone else. I wish I was seeing you, and we've tried a different number of scenarios, but only in the holodeck. Direct action against the Iconians is proving to be problematic, because so much time has passed since they were first a great power. Incursions that far back in time must be carefully planned, or the fallout of even minor changes can ripple across reality. We have, however, seen some promise in trying to delay their arrival.
Okay, but that's just delaying the inevitable.
Actually, it would be closer to a 700-year delay if our calculations are correct. The Iconians have had 200,000 years to build their fleets, but we're catching up to them. We've already seen what the 29th century technology can do. Imagine what we'll have in the 32nd century.
So we'd be more on an equal footing.
Exactly. The other potential solution is to cut into their current power base. What if the Iconians never allied with the Alachi or the Solanae? We wouldn't be facing the trouble we do now.
Okay, what are your best scenarios?
The three most promising incursions each follow one of these tactics. My teams have been running simulations and refining their targets, but I'd like you to assist them using a special quantum recursive algorithm. Our simulators can run the outcome of a possible incursion on the holodeck. Interacting with that simulation will give us more data than just crunching the numbers. We need to really interact with it to see what reality would look like, and for that, I need someone like you with field experience.
All right, let's do it. I'm enthusiastic. Speak with Alpha Team Leader Sofin.
Hello. Please allow me to explain what we're doing here. We've determined that if we remove a specific series of stars from the Beta Quadrant in the distant past, a rogue planet will enter the Iconia system and cause massive geological damage at about the same time the planet was bombarded by the Iconians' enemies. The technological buildup of the orbital bombardment that destroyed the Iconian civilization will still happen, but the Iconians themselves will have to deal with a natural disaster, not a war.
And you think this is better than a war?
Maybe the survivors of a natural disaster, if there are any, won't be so vengeful, and none of the stars we will remove have planets with the possibility of developing life. The overall effect on the galaxy is minimal. It's a painful path, but it could be the one that leads to peace.
Alright, if this works, it still won't avenge the fallen. Sure.
The number of stars we will have to remove is a concern, which is why we're trying this in a simulation first. But as Captain Nog said, these simulations aren't perfect, so we have devised a holodeck program that will expand and extrapolate on possible effects of the temporal incursion.
You're giving a lot of weight to the holodeck.
It's the best option we have available to us. The holodeck's algorithms have been updated to change and adapt to the data created by the simulated timeline alteration. This is not your average holo novel.
Okay, what do you need me to do?
Once we run the program, you'll be able to interact with our best approximation of the new timeline. Interaction with the holodeck components will allow the program to generate a more in-depth solution and give us a better idea of what to expect. We have set this simulation on a Federation starship patrolling the Sol system, and you are the captain. If all goes as planned, we expect that almost everything in the system should be close to current reality.
Alright, let's see what happens then. Sounds like a good idea. In theory. But there's Jem'Hadar.
Captain, you're alive! We repelled the intruders on the bridge, but the ship has taken heavy damage, and a lot of the crew are injured.
What's the situation?
Sir, I'm not sure this is the time. So many people are hurt, and most of the systems are offline. The life support is on backups, and our resources are down to nothing, and...
Alright, I'll help with the wounded, but you need to help me. What happened?
The Dominion stopped firing at us when we lost weapons. Now they're focusing on Earth's defense grid, but it's only a matter of time before they return to finish us off.
Okay, we will stabilize the crew and fight back. So it looks like the Dominion are still a player here, and they're at Earth.
I tried to fight them off, but the boarding parties, the Jem'Hadar, we have to stop the Dominion. They can't take Earth too.
Okay, let's heal everybody. On your feet.
I never expected they would get so far into our defenses. I'm sorry, Captain. I just need a moment. Then I'll be ready to fight.
We can't stop them. Maybe if we hadn't been at war with the Romulans. Maybe if the Klingons hadn't ripped themselves apart. I'll be fine, Captain. Just rattled.
Incoming hail!
USS Ajax. Sensors show your ship is completely defenseless, and I would prefer not to delay our arrival at Earth to deal with such a minor annoyance. Surrender now, and I will guarantee the safety of your crew.
Never surrender, never give up. Let's see what happened here in this timeline. Alright, hull integrity, blah blah blah, everything's offline. Quadrant casualty report. Betazoid taken. Teller Prime taken. Vulcan uninhabitable. 9.4 billion casualties. Holy crap. Alright, Captain's personal log. We haven't seen the bulk of the enemy fleet in 3 days, but their scouts continue to harass us. Vulcan is lost. Andoria is in flames. Romulus, Teller Prime, Betazoid Trill, ashes. If the Romulans had joined us, maybe this would have been different. The Klingons barely had enough ships left to patrol their home system. They weren't a threat anymore. We were offering friendship, but the Romulans refused us. And then the Dominion came and took everything. Long-range sensors are offline. There is no Iconian activity in the immediate area. Download all data. That's an interesting result. I don't know how the Iconians not being there would have affected all that, though. It's pretty wild. Let's see, maybe we'll get some answers.
Sorry, we were watching from the control room, and that could have gone better. Even with all that, the simulation data on whether the Iconians were entirely eliminated from that timeline is inconclusive. We were able to record your interactions, and we've been able to piece together what happened from those.
What did you find?
From what we can piece together, the Klingon Empire was never unified by its conflicts against outsiders, and the great houses turned on one another instead. The Romulans took the chaos as an opportunity to attack. The Federation stepped in to help the Klingons, and the war between the three factions basically ripped the quadrant apart. The Dominion then conquered all three weakened powers.
Ooh, okay.
Agreed. My team will continue working on other possible incursion scenarios.
Perhaps we can weaken their power base. Let's try that option.
Another one of you Voyagers? I don't know how you can help, but very well. My team is working on scenarios that reduce the Iconian power base. We're attempting to do so by fixing a mistake that Janeway allowed to happen decades ago. We're going to stop the Vaadwaur from being rediscovered. We plan to do this by preventing Voyager from ever coming into contact with underspace. This will prevent them from finding Vaadwaur Prime, and 7 of 9 will never wake the Vaadwaur.
Okay. I don't know what you mean by Voyager. I never served on that ship.
No, but you're all the same. You come to our quadrant, meddle in affairs that don't concern you and that you don't understand, and leave chaos in your wake.
This is a global problem.
You want us
here
to help you alter time. Tell me, does that sound like something someone like you should be doing?
Or even you. I'm not sure that power should be in your hands either.
None of us are going to survive if we don't try to repair the damage you've already done. The goal is to cause a solar flare that will force Voyager to divert from the course it was on when it stumbled into underspace. If it safely passes without entering underspace, it can continue on its trip home and bypass the Vaadwaur entirely.
Alright, let's
try it. The simulation is set for the USS Voyager, which is fitting since they caused the problem in the first place. Our projections show that even if the Vaadwaur never return, your people will still find a reason to stick your noses into our business. So, we're attempting to see how the elimination of the Vaadwaur will change the formation of the Delta Alliance. You will be a member of the diplomatic team.
Here we go. Oh, I need to speak to another person.
Don't mind Noi. I think he partially blames people from your quadrant for some of the Krennin's troubles. After all, if Voyager hadn't restored the Vaadwaur, they would have never been in a position to ally with the Iconians. But there is no reason to dwell on past hurts. We're trying to fix what we can here, and then learn to accept the rest. Noi funnels that passion to help his people into his work. Perhaps it will change everything.
Thank you for your honesty.
It is a pleasure to meet you. Both Captain Nog and Seven speak highly of you.
Yeah, I already know who she is. It's Noi's wife. And that's important for a reason. Alright, let's do this. Interact with everybody.
This is an absolute disaster. I had thought that Admiral Tuvok was being pessimistic about the chance for success here. But now, I think he was right.
Alliance making isn't a quick process.
No, it's not. The hierarchy started setting these people against one another before Admiral Tuvok and his team could start to pull them together. The very fact that they all agreed to be in the same room is a minor miracle.
Do you think you can bring them together?
Eventually. Between Vulcan logic, Klingon tenacity, and Romulan pragmatism, we'll convince everyone here that the threat is real, and an alliance is in their best interest. But it won't be easy. Now, if you'll excuse me, I see I have another argument to break up.
Okay, next.
We've always tried to be good neighbors and treat other races with respect, but this is really too much. The Malon are using our system as a dump, and their trash isn't our problem.
The Malon aren't the biggest danger to your people.
The Malon might not be the biggest threat, but they are the most immediate. Wait until they start dumping their trash in your front yard, and see how you like it.
Uh-huh. And Malon?
Are you here to preach about responsible waste management too? You can save it. I have a commitment to my people and my planet that supersedes any other concerns. We don't need outsiders telling us what to do. If the Talaxians want to talk, they can come to us directly.
Okay, let's see what happened in this timeline. As I stand right on the console.
The Malon have resisted attempts to accept less hazardous waste management practices and continue dumping waste throughout the quadrant. The most at-risk populations are the Talaxians, who have a new colony close to Malon dumping grounds. The Malon have moved into Talaxian space to avoid hierarchy attacks. Diplomatic relations between the Malon and Talaxians are rapidly deteriorating. The Malon have accused the Talaxians of working with the hierarchy, a charge the Talaxians strenuously deny. The Benthans could possibly pressure the Malon to return to the negotiation table.
I mean, this doesn't sound like the most worstest future.
Yes, what is your question?
If the Iconians are out of the way.
The Hazari are stepping up their smuggling operations, and the hierarchy's new drive for profits has created a significant increase in attacks on unaligned transports. Good luck with that. The Hazari aren't interested in anything but making deals. This whole meeting is just a waste of time. Unity might work where you come from, but I don't have any reason to cooperate with criminals like the Hazari or thugs like the hierarchy.
Right. Okay.
What do you want? Did the Benthans make you one of their little deputies? Or was it the Malon? Before everyone broke ties with the hierarchy, they told us what people say about us. Mercenaries. Honorless. Ha! They all deny it, but we know. Now we look out for ourselves. Fine. Run back to the Benthans. I'll be here if you want to talk business.
Unraveling this mess could take months, years.
Okay, download data from the console. Quadrant threat report.
The number of planets the hierarchy have taken outright has increased 20% over the past 6 months. A push for higher profits has prompted steady growth of hierarchy territory. Reports of abductions in areas near hierarchy space have increased by 77.2%. However, this data has not been confirmed by outside sources because few Delta Quadrant species are willing to share information with the Federation. Further investigation is needed.
Ambassador's log, stardate 87234.5. Our allies in the Kiana system have been invaded by hierarchy forces. The Kiana colony is a small farming community with no strategic value, so the attack simply doesn't make sense. According to one survivor we managed to find, the hierarchy were working with the Ilachi. The Ilachi took captives to an unknown location.
Ah, the hierarchy is working with the Ilachi. That could explain it. Long-range sensors are detecting both Herald and Iconian readings. While they do not appear to be in active conflict with Alliance forces, you're seeing more ships than normal. There are both Herald and Iconian signals in hierarchy space. It appears the Heralds may have been using that area as a staging ground for a coordinated attack with the hierarchy on high-value targets throughout the Delta Quadrant. So basically, instead of using the Vodwar, they just use the hierarchy. Makes sense. They would just go somewhere else if the Vodwar weren't available.
Damn, that was useless. The Iconians were so determined to have a hold here that they simply found another species to fit the bill.
Yep.
Maybe if you had been a better negotiator, you would have been able to unite those representatives against the hierarchy. Then, at least we would have had a chance.
I don't know about that.
This scenario isn't as catastrophic as trying to remove the Iconians, but it's not exactly ideal either. We'll have to try something else.
You must excuse my husband's harsh demeanor. This has been a very trying time for the Krenim. Thank you for helping us get this far. We'll keep working.
Trust my wife to be the voice of reason. Perhaps I was too hard on you. I just want to be able to fix all of this. We can't turn back time, but we can change it. Please speak to Gamma Team. Captain Nog thinks very highly of their plan.
Let's try their plan. Nog? Nope. Speak with Gamma Team Leader Jalen. Over here.
Hello. We've been waiting for you. Our team is focusing on delaying tactics. What if Iconia had never been discovered? In 2365, Captain Donald Varley of the USS Yamato found a star chart on Denias 3 that revealed the location of Iconia. I want to redirect a meteor to impact the archaeological site on Denias 3 before Captain Varley begins his excavations. Iconia will remain a myth, and we will not attract the Iconians' attention as early as we did.
But that's just another delay, right?
True. But if you compare the changes in Iconian technology over the past 200,000 years with what the rest of us have done in the past 2 centuries, it's obvious that the Iconian culture has stagnated while we have advanced rapidly. Additionally, there are other factors in play that could trigger the alliances and sharing of technology that have come about because of the Iconian threat. It's a risk, but it's one that could pay off.
Okay.
The program is set for Romulan space. Because the Hobus supernova was caused by direct Iconian interference, we expect Romulus to be intact in this new reality. As such, the Romulan Star Empire should once again be a major power in the quadrant. Your role will be as an officer on a Romulan warbird.
Wait, this change might restore Romulus?
Yes. To call it a huge change would be an understatement. Please be aware that nothing will be done unless your government agrees that this is the best possible solution. There is already a team here working on the possible restoration of Romulus, and Commander Jirak has been authorized to speak for the Republic if needed. The fact that our data shows delaying the Iconian arrival will also save Romulus is an interesting coincidence, but it does not mean we will accept the solution without looking at other options. The program is set...
That's a very interesting option and could have huge benefits. Bring Romulus back. Now we're on a Romulan warbird. Speak with Commander Tamer. And where would that be?
Ah, Sub-Commander. I'd like to test out some new security passcodes. If you would be so kind as to seal the doors and disable certain, equipment, we need to talk.
Sure.
Thank you for playing along, Sub-Commander. The Tal Shiar can't hear us now. I need to talk to you about Datan and the Separatists. They've been located near the Dewa system. What we do next could change our future.
The only thing I know about the Separatists is what I've heard through official channels. What do you know?
Datan has been inspired by Spock's teaching. He and many others have left the homeworld and are gathered together in a flotilla somewhere near Tau Dewa. Datan and his allies have been making overtures of peace to both the Federation and the Klingons. Because of this, they have enough support that even the Tal Shiar won't take direct action against them. The Borg are at our borders. The Empire can't fight the Collective and the Separatists at the same time.
So what does that mean for us?
Thank you for playing along, Sub-Commander. The Tal Shiar can't hear us now. I need to talk to you about... If I was, I wouldn't have needed you to lock the door. I intend to put Lieutenant Silan in the brig and then take this ship and crew to join the Separatists. Are you with me?
If we do this, we'll be traitors to the Empire.
I know. I have tried to work within the system, but the system is broken and corrupt. Titan and his people are building something better. You and I both know it. The crew knows it. We will take this warbird to Titan, and we will finally be free.
Okay, I guess we're gonna do that then. Unseal door. Confront Lieutenant Silan.
Secret conversations between the commander and one of his senior officers? Very suspicious. Loyal citizens of the Romulan Star Empire have no need for locked doors.
Sir, I am going to have to ask you to accompany the security team to the brig.
Tamer, you are a fool, and you will be the death of everyone on this ship. Titan and his people are terrorists. If you join them, you will share their fate.
You're under arrest. Please comply and you will not be harmed. That was painless.
My friends, it is time we forge our own destiny.
A destiny free from the tyranny of the Tal Shiar.
If we leave, we will have a better, brighter future
than what they would allow
us. I know this is a step into the unknown,
but it is
wonder why there's two different voices.
Together. Throw off your chains. We will join our brothers and sisters in freedom.
There's two different voices going on there at the same time. They need to fix that.
I wanted to let you know that I am with you and Commander Tamer. Some of my family has left Romulus to join Titan. I'll be proud to join them.
Okay. Let's download data. Notice to all hands, the seminar traders in our midst, the historical, blah, blah, blah. Okay, transmitted to a quadrant status report. Starfleet vessels have been assisting new Romulans in areas near the neutral zone. Imperial ships are being dispatched in a show of force. Any ships harboring or assisting the Separatists are to be fired upon. There are no exceptions. Ships in Group Gamma are being reassigned to patrols in the area targeted by the Borg. Contacts are regular, but vigilance is needed to eradicate the threat and protect our colony worlds. Gaius is becoming suspicious. I've been speaking to members of the senior staff, and most are in favor of making a run for the flotilla and joining Titan. But I remain cautious. They are doing the right thing, but the Borg are nipping at our heels. Every ship the fleet loses might be one needed to protect Romulans in our hour of need. But what is there left to protect? Long-range sensors show no Herald or Iconian signatures, and there are no references to Heralds in the ship's database. The only references to the Iconians are in the historical files, and most refer to the Iconians as a myth. There are heightened levels of Borg activity throughout the Beta Quadrant, and multiple colony worlds have been assimilated. The Romulan fleets are on high alert, but have not been able to make major inroads against the collective. Not a bad result, to be honest, except for the heightened Borg activity.
That is the most promising simulation yet. It appears there was some merit to our hypothesis that the Iconians advanced their plans due to early contact.
But it's not perfect by any means.
The readings do indicate higher levels of Borg activity, but it should be an acceptable risk.
Do you think this could be our solution?
The data in this simulation does show higher Borg activity than we're currently seeing, but there are no signs of Herald, Iconian, or Solanae presence at all. And while the Romulan Star Empire is restored to their former power, there is a democratic Romulan group opposing the Tal Shiar. And more importantly, Romulus is intact. This is the result many of our Romulan researchers have been trying to bring about.
Okay, but this isn't our reality. We'll be significantly altering everything we know.
The political calculus of the quadrant will change, but the data supports what you saw on the holodeck. No Iconians. We have solid projections. The only suggestion I have now is that you consider it in conjunction with Captain Nog and the Republic representatives here.
Alright, we'll discuss it.
This last test has the most promising results I've seen, and saving the Romulan homeworld is an added bonus. We're not going to have a lot of shots at this. I've been looking at Anorex's work, and I think it's too easy to get into a temporal loop where you try again and again for a specific result, and time starts fighting back. I'm inclined to say this is our best chance. But this will have a huge impact on the reality we know, especially your people, Commander Jirok. I won't give my authorization without hearing from everyone.
This would save our home, but wipe out all we've accomplished, Commander. What do you think?
This is difficult. It would change everything for us. We'd have our home back, but the Republic, everything we've built, it would all be gone. But there's still hope. Even in this other reality, Datan has led many Romulans away from Sela and her Tal Shiar thugs.
Yep.
The simulation specifically mentioned Datan and a separatist movement. Commander Tamer makes the choice to join Datan, the same choice he made after the homeworld was lost. With Romulus, we could have numbers. More people who have had enough of the Tal Shiar's oppression could join us. Maybe millions more. If Datan is able to get a movement going, even at the height of the Empire's power, I have to believe that change is possible. Make the incursion. The lives we save will be worth the work we'll have to do to reform the Republic. The Tal Shiar wasn't able to stop us the first time. They won't stop us again.
Sir, we have been informed that the Lisette and the Krenim vessel will be traveling with us to the site of the temporal incursion. The Krenim vessel has the weapon on board, and the Lisette will provide additional security and manpower. I can't believe we're actually just gonna go do this, like, just right now. Doesn't seem like it's, we've had enough discussion, to be honest. All three vessels will be temporarily shielded to protect us from changes in the timeline. As long as that shielding holds, we'll be able to observe the changes and even interact with them, but we will not be a part of the new timeline. Captain Nog says the temporal shield generators can be damaged. We'll need to be careful. We can beam you up when you're ready. Yeah, this is not dangerous at all. It seems that we made this decision rather quickly. And are just gonna go do it. Okay, sure, whatever, but hey, when it all goes wrong, don't blame me. It's an interesting idea, though, and I like this kind of approach. Instead of just pure time travel, it's about changing time without time traveling.
Target acquired and locked.
Okay, I guess we're gonna do it.
Weapon.
We're doing it now, in fact.
Incursion complete.
It will be good to see the world of my birth again.
You left your weapon on.
Elements? Is that Romulus?
Elements. Yep.
It's been completely assimilated.
Yeah. There's that. Don't know how that happened,
yes, I think we have a problem.
But there you go.
No. We expected to see some Borg activity, but this can't be right.
What happened?
I agree that this is unexpected, Commander, but we knew there would be anomalies. We need more information. Let's find out where the simulation might have gone wrong.
Okay, stay on the edge of the system. Jirok and I will move in for sensor sweeps. The last thing we need is the Borg assimilating the Krenim's weapon.
The whole system can't be assimilated, can it? That is a lot of Borg.
Well, it could be. You know, I can cloak. Where's my cloaking device at? Cloaking device? There you are. Then the Borg can't see me. I'm clever. But it's going to uncloak me when I scan.
According to these
That's
scans,
dumb.
the planet has been completely assimilated. I'm not detecting any non-Borg life signs. This is bad. Really, really bad. We need to fix this. Borg ships decloaking. Red alert.
Oh boy.
First the Klingons, now the Borg. Does everyone steal cloaking technology from us?
Target's shields have failed.
Borg reinforcements on an intercept course.
4 shields failing. Rear shields failing. Right shields failing. Target's shields have failed. 4 shields failing.
We need more information before we can fix it. I'll keep the Krenim ship well out of Borg sensor range while you go in and find out what happened. Hurry. More Borg will be arriving soon.
Won't we be affected by the timeline shift once we leave the ship?
I've modified some personal shield generators to shield you temporally as well. I'm transporting them over now. Hurry. The temporal shielding drains a lot of power. You won't have much time down there before you're unprotected. If that happens, this will be your new reality.
Alright. We are going to get all our bridge officers. That helps.
We need more data to plot a possible solution. With any luck, the Borg will have what we need. Maybe. Our focus is on restoration. There is a computer node in this area of the Unimatrix that should have what we need. Find the node and download all the data you can from the point where we made our incursion. That should help us find out how to fix this.
I'm going to join you. I know this place. Or at least I knew this place. Before we lost the homeworld, it was a Talshar complex. Most of the secrets of our empire were stored here. I thought I was getting my home back, but now the Borg have taken it all away. This is like losing Romulus all over again. The controls ahead of us will unlock the bulkheads.
Okay, here we go.
The whole planet. All our people. They're Borg.
Gonna have to fight the Borg, which is always fun. I genuinely do like fighting the Borg.
I can't believe we were so wrong. Cover me! I'll override the door controls. Got it.
I know I don't have any remodulators at the moment, but I'm just gonna power my way through it. The
We have
old-fashioned
to
way.
find a way to make this right.
Resistance is futile.
There. That's the access node console we need. Locked. We'll have to circumvent their security measures. Wait! Incoming Borg!
Okay, we need to circumvent the security by unlocking everything.
When we lost the homeworld, I thought that was the worst thing that could happen to us.
You will be assimilated.
I just realized I'm going backwards through this thing. I did Gamma, then I did Beta, now I'm doing Alpha. I always seem to do that every time I play this mission. Pretty powerful on ground. Remember, I'm on advanced difficulty fighting the Borg.
This was Romulan technology once, but it's been completely assimilated.
And doing pretty good on ground. I've got good ground abilities.
Hakiv?
An assimilated Hakiv.
You will become one with the Borg. Resistance is futile.
They look like zombies with those eyes. They killed Hakiv for me. They did. They killed Hakiv. That's pretty crazy. Powerful bridge officers. Let's download data. Input query. Drone 2 of 18 reporting to Alcove 12 Gamma for daily regeneration cycle. Drone reporting to Manifold. Drone 35 completion. Breakdown records of year. Blah blah blah. Romulus system added to the collective. Unimatrix established in orbit of Romulus, designated Unimatrix 652. All adjuncts of Unimatrix redesignated into Trimatrices. So, but we know the Romulus system was added to the collective. What we want to know is when and how.
It looks like the main invasion of Romulan space occurred about 20 years ago. Something happened in the Delta Quadrant. The Borg assimilated something that greatly improved their technology. They adapted, evolved, and my people, they didn't have a chance. Maybe it's our fate to lose Romulus.
But what is that they found in the Delta Quadrant that they assimilated? What was it? Okay. That's my question. And I don't know if that's ever been answered. What did they assimilate in the Delta Quadrant? Put your suggestions below. I want to know what you think they might have assimilated. Because I can't think of anything. Maybe an Iconian gate. But they would have come across Iconian gates before. The Borg have been everywhere. So this wouldn't have been the first time they encountered an Iconian gate. Has to be something else. Maybe a Dyson sphere? Could you imagine?
Let's get out of here. There are more than 20 Borg ships on an intercept course.
Could you imagine the Borg assimilating an entire Dyson sphere?
More Borg on the way.
I don't know, though. I don't know what it was
Borg
exactly.
Decloaking.
Warning, ship is under attack. Target's shields have failed. Left shields failing. Rear shields failing.
Resist this.
Core shields failing. Right shields failing.
Transmit the data! Hurry! We're under attack! We're losing power! Send the data now before we lose temporal shielding!
Focus on your repairs. We will make sure the data is preserved. Data is compressed and ready.
Warning, ship is under attack. Target's shields have failed. Right shields failing. Shields failing. Hull integrity below 75%. Left shields failing.
Oh no, I blew up. I wasn't watching my health. Well, we already failed this mission. That's it, we're done. Pack up, go home. Turn the game off.
Communications array is ready.
Warning, ship is under attack. Target's shields have failed. 4 shields failing. Rear shields failing. Right shields failing. Left shields failing. Target's shields have failed. Target's shields have failed. 4 shields failing.
Secure channel confirmed.
Data received!
I'm running the numbers now. If we target the Borg transwarp network, the Borg may never be able to reach Romulus.
It is a great risk. The Borg have a great deal of influence on the timeline, and there is no time to run simulations.
Do we have a choice?
Shields failing.
We do not.
Oh, I guess we're doing it anyway.
Targeting the transwarp network.
Firing the weapon! Now!
Well, there's no Borg. Also, no Romulus.
The Borg are gone. But so is Romulus.
Romulus isn't the only thing we lost. Temporal shielding is failing.
What happened?
The Borg did too much damage to the generators. If we lose the temporal shielding, we'll all reintegrate with the timeline.
Has anything else changed?
Checking. No. The Tutarians. They're gone!
How?
I see the problem. 20 years ago, your people tried to replicate the work of the Solanae to protect themselves from the Borg. They failed.
Temporal shield is at 8%.
No, I need to restabilize the shields.
I'm downloading my personal files into the shielded core. You'll have all my research notes and everything we've recorded from this mission.
You're giving up? When the shield fails, if the Tutarians were lost in the past, then you'll be lost too.
Temporal shield is losing integrity.
Is there anything we can do?
No, we all knew the risks.
Ah. And the timeline has changed and nobody knows it, because now they're all integrated into it. So now it's like the beginning of the episode all over again. There has been a development. Captain Nog, Commander Jirok, and the Quinum researchers are waiting for you in the conference room to go over their findings. So we are in a different timeline now, literally.
We've found a temporally shielded computer core, and it shows 2 uses of the Krenum weapon. But as far as I know, the Iconians are still out there. We changed the timeline, but we didn't fix our most important problem.
How different is the world now?
We won't be sure until we finish analyzing the data, but the Krenum weapon was used twice. I remember being on the bridge of the Krenum ship and seeing a readout with a far lower power reserve than had just been there a moment before. I'm sure you had a similar situation. As to the greater differences, we'll know more soon. I only hope the ripples from what we did today don't start a tsunami. We've found a temporally shielded computer core, and we haven't dug that far into the data yet. And it will take some in-depth investigation to catalog all of the changes. Noi is going to lead the group taking care of that. I will say it is odd to find personal logs I don't remember making.
Yeah, that would be strange.
Very. But from what we've already seen, it appears the reason the weapon was fired twice was because we had to try to correct a change we made. Technology like this seems so simple, but even the smallest change can make more trouble than it solves. We have to be more cautious. Far more cautious than we've already been, I suppose. The next mistake might not be fixable. Time alteration might not be the answer. There are some problems that can't be solved with a weapon. But time travel... Look, whatever happens, it was good working with you. I hope we have the chance to do so in the future.
The question is, should we try it again? Should we, try the Anorax situation again?
I have a lot of information to analyze. The shielded core appears to have made it through the process intact, and will give us a wealth of data on the timeline and how the changes have affected it. Clearly, you made a mistake somewhere. I still feel this is the best technology available to us, but we will need minds sufficient to the task to operate it.
And his wife is gone. He has no wife and he doesn't even know it.
I was conducting another simulation, and all of a sudden I got an emergency call telling me to stop everything. I will be looking at whatever data we managed to save to try and determine what went wrong. Maybe we can try again after we know more.
I hope you find something. We can't afford another incident like this.
It has been good to have you here, but we will have to consider if time alteration is really the best course of action. Of all the records we have of time travel, few have as drastic a result as this. Perhaps removing elements from the time stream isn't the solution we need.
Maybe not.
We've put so much hope into using the Krenum technology to solve our problems. Perhaps I was caught up in the possibilities and blind to the potential for disaster. We tried and we failed. But this isn't the end. We'll keep looking at the simulations as well as any other option open to us. I have to have faith that we will find a way to defeat the Iconians.
We'll discover what happened and move on from there. It's all we can do. Sir, I'm concerned about using time travel to solve the Iconian situation, but it is one of the only options we have that they don't. I hope whatever the Alliance decides to do, we don't end up in a worse situation than we're already in. Are you ready to transport? Let's head back to our ship. That was a very long episode, a very long mission, but a lot did happen there, so we'll talk about that here in a second. Let's see our rewards.
Captain Nog tells me that the initial test of the Cryptic weapon was less than promising. He says that he and his team have a great deal of data still to analyze, but I do not believe they will find much that will assist us. Removing elements from the time stream is reckless, and while our options are limited, we should not destroy ourselves in a fruitless effort to destroy the Iconians.
Now
it is time to consider all of our alternatives.
Those are wise words from Captain Kagrin. So we're going to get focused assault training manuals, and I can pick something here. This is the temporal disentanglement suite. Let's see. This is auxiliary power, shield capacity, critical chance and severity, and shield resistance. This is one of those rewards that I like having on ships. So I'm actually going to take this one over everything else here for right now. This is a neat console. I like this one. So that's an interesting mission because it's not time travel. We're not time traveling, but we are changing elements in time to affect time. A very interesting and unique idea on things, because the whole point of time travel anyway is so that you can affect the past and change things. But what if you could just do it without even having to time travel? That's basically this. And very interesting how you can affect things. Now, we had a good solution, I thought. It even brought Romulus back. Titan was still alive, still there, doing his thing. Seemed like a good solution. I don't know exactly what went wrong, though, that caused Romulus to be assimilated. It said something was discovered and assimilated in the Delta Quadrant 20 years ago, and so that changed the course of the Borg, made them even more powerful. I didn't see any differences, but apparently it did, and they came all the way to the Beta Quadrant here and assimilated the Romulus system. My question is, what did they find in the Delta Quadrant that they assimilated that made them that way? That they haven't discovered or seen already? I mean, my mind goes to stuff like the Iconian stuff, like an Iconian gate or a Dyson sphere. But surely they would have seen those kind of things before, like the gateways for sure. They would have come across those in the past. They might have seen a Dyson sphere or two. So I don't know what it could really be that would have changed the course and made them come all the way to Romulus. I don't know. But we never learned that. So that's the big mystery there, and I don't think we're ever going to learn it. But we're just left open to guess ourselves, I suppose. But then destroying the Borg conduit, or the transwarp network, fixed that problem. But the problem is that changed the future again. That changed things. These people that Noi's wife, whatever her race was called, no longer exist. And who knows what other changes there are. And we now live in that timeline. It's an altered timeline we live in now. And it makes you think. It really makes you think, you know, what other changes could there be? Pretty crazy stuff. But this is the timeline that we're staying in. This is what we're in now. So the prime timeline is no longer the prime timeline. We're in a different prime timeline now. It's really crazy stuff. At least in this game. Could make your head explode. But I like the mission, and it was neat to do all that. It was just a long, drawn-out mission and a lot of dialogue that probably could have been tightened up a bit. But otherwise, that's that mission, and we are now at the last mission of the Iconian War, which is Midnight, and we'll do that next. But that's the last mission of the Iconian War before we move on to the next storyline in this game. So, thank you for watching. Leave your comments below, and stay tuned for the next one. Check out Twitter at Brent_Justice for updates. You can follow me there. Also, check out my Patreon page, patreon.com/Brent Justice. This helps support the channel and also allows me to publish more and more videos.